Chennai 365, an effort by SKS in association with social, sports and cultural bodies to do good to a vibrant Chennai.
APSRTC, which position he held for a record period of 5.5 years with great distinction. Subsequently, as chairman of Hyderabad Alvin, he pioneered the concept of privatization in the pre-liberalization era itself, long before the governments could even conceive of. His significant contribution in the business management arena and his condition had won him many laurels like directorial assignments in quite a few companies, chairmanship in AP chapter of CII, presidentship in Quality Circle Forum, guiding force in national committees of National Productivity Council and All India Management Association. Mr. Ram Mohan Rao was the president of Hyderabad Cricket Association for unprecedented consecutive 3 terms and is involved in a number of social activities. After all these coveted positions, he was chosen to be the head of state Tamil Nadu effective 18th January this year and is today with us as His Excellency Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri Ram Mohan Rao. So, it's but fair, ladies and gentlemen, that such a distinguished personality like His Excellency Sri Ram Mohan Rao hands over the Visveswaraya Industrial Award to Sri Krishna Sweets. I now request His Excellency, the Governor of Tamil Nadu, to give his chief guest speech.
Sri Harish Mehta, Mr. Krishnan, Mr. Murali, other distinguished gentlemen on the dais, distinguished invitees, representatives of the media, ladies and gentlemen. To recognize merit and excellence, and even more, to celebrate such merit and excellence by way of rewarding or awarding those who have made it possible is indeed a very pleasant function and a pleasant task. And I feel very privileged and honored to have been invited to perform such a pleasant function this evening. I thank the office bearers of the All India Manufacturing Association, Tamil Nadu State Board, for having accorded to me this privilege. We have assembled here today to present an award instituted by the Tamil Nadu State Board of the All India Manufacturers Organization, which itself was founded by that illustrious engineer, administrator, statesman, Mochagundam Visveswaraya. And the award itself is instituted in his memory. In doing so, we are not only remembering the great contributions that Mochagundam Visveswaraya made to the well-being of this country, but it's also an occasion when it will be appropriate for all of us to pay a humble tribute to his memory. And permit me to do that on the behalf of all of you and on my own behalf. The Telugu-speaking people of this nation, to whom I also belong, claim Sri Visveswaraya to be one of their own, though I do not know how valid is that claim. Because, as all of us know, he was born somewhere in what is now the Karnataka state, and all his illustrious life and career were largely devoted to the welfare of that state. But I would like to share with you some of the great contributions that he made to the well-being of Andhra Pradesh, which is the state of the Telugu-speaking people. In both the parts, in the coastal part, which was once part of the Madras Presidency, and the western area, which formed part of the Nizam's dominions. As children, we used to hear the great things that the genius of Mochagundam Visveswaraya made possible. I believe the Visakhapatnam harbour, which is today one of the premier ports of the country, and which is rated also as one of the most natural harbours in the world, it used to get silted because of the incoming tides. You know, the Visakhapatnam harbour is a sheltered harbour with mountains all around and a small mouth opening into the Bay of Bengal. For whenever there was an inward tide, the sand used to get into the mouth of the harbour and silt it up. And for long years, the then British government did not know how to solve this problem. They turned to Mochagundam Visveswaraya, and after a routine kind of inspection of the harbour, he suggested that a ship, one of those obsolete ships, a ship should be sunk facing the mouth of the harbour so that the ship will halt the silting of the mouth. And this was done. And today, if any of you visit the Visakhapatnam port, you will still find a ship stopping the siltation of the mouth of the Visakhapatnam harbour. In the second decade of the 20th century, the twin cities of Hyderabad and Secunderabad were devastated by a flood in the Musi River, which flows through Hyderabad. If you see Musi today, you will not believe that it is capable of causing any kind of devastation. Nevertheless, the great devastation that visited Hyderabad and Secunderabad forced the then Nizam of Hyderabad to seek the advice of Moksha Visveswaraya. And it is recorded history that it is his recommendation which led to the construction of 2 dams on the Musi River and one of its tributaries, leading to the formation of the 2 well-known lakes, Himayat Sagar and Hussain Sagar, which are today, even today, are the lifelines of the twin cities for their drinking water needs. The 2 lakes on the outskirts of Hyderabad city and the ship in the mouth of the Visakhapatnam harbour are standing testimonies to the great genius of Moksha Visveswaraya, in whose memory, in a manner of speaking, we are assembled today here. So let us all pay our humble tribute and homage to his memory. What do I say with regard to the main purpose of this function? After all that has been said by various speakers before me about the qualities of head and heart of the founder of Sri Krishna Sweets and his 2 proud sons who are in our midst this evening. And particularly, as somebody else has said also, it's perhaps a difficult act to follow the speaker who preceded me and who paid the tribute or the eulogy to the memory of Mahadeva Iyer, Dr. Krishnaraj Vanavarya. Nevertheless, I shall try to make out a case for myself. Going through the list of all the award winners in the earlier years, it would appear that the list is a kind of who is who of Tamil Nadu industry. Every big name is present there. Therefore, to decide upon giving this year's award to a company which is essentially a sweet maker, if I may say so, would appear rather odd and even intriguing. But is it a change? Is it a sign of the changing times in Indian industry? Is my question. Perhaps it is a subtle reminder to all of us and a pointer to the fact that food processing industry should be the next major initiative on the part of Indian industry. All of you, I'm sure, are fully aware of the tremendous potential that India has in this area of food processing industry. In fact, if we ponder Krishna Sweets, MTR Foods, Tasty Bites, Priya Foods and the like are going to be the winners of tomorrow and perhaps India's brand ambassadors. Even such famous, reputed and successful Indian multinationals like the ITC and the Hindustan Levers are today making forays into the food processing industry, which only illustrates its great importance and significance for India in the next decade or two. We are said to be the largest producer of fruits, spices and condiments. We are said to be the second largest producer of vegetables. We are also perhaps the largest producer of milk and milk products in the world. Now it's a pity that almost 40% of the value of these products goes as waste in India because of our inability to add value to these products by way of processing, whether it is because of the absence of supply chains or the cold chains as they call, whatever the reason, almost 40% of these agricultural and food products that are generated in this country go waste. In this context, giving away the award for 99-2000 to Krishna Sweets is indeed a timely and an apt reminder to all of us of the immense potential that India has to exploit the food processing industry and improve the national domestic product. For another reason, the food processing industry is going to be extremely important to India. Manufacturing per se is becoming less and less a contributor to the national gross product. Present estimates put its contribution to about 30-35%. But as the service sector gains in dimensions, in all dimensions, perhaps manufacturing may contribute even less. Its contribution may even come down to 25%, as has happened in many Western countries. But food processing, both as a manufacturing sector and as a service sector, has great scope, what with the quantity of agricultural products that we produce. If only India learns to add value to all these food products, it will not only improve the country's economy, but will also help to uplift the rural economy of India and provide greater and greater employment to the people living in India's villages. It will also stop migration to the towns, which is causing serious problems of maintenance of civic amenities in the Indian cities today. And for all these reasons, if food processing industry is going to be very important, it is perhaps very apt and very appropriate that the All India Manufacturers Association, Tamil Nadu State Board, has chosen to recognize the excellence and the achievement of Sri Krishna Sweets and give away this year's award to this company. I congratulate Sri Krishnan and Sri Murali for upholding the great values and the great traditions that their father believed in, and in continuing to keep the Krishna Sweets in the front rank of corporate ventures in Tamil Nadu for all these years. The mortality rate of even great and excellent companies is becoming higher and higher in recent times. Many of you would have heard of the famous research which resulted in a book called In Search of Excellence a couple of decades ago. That was a research conducted on 25 or 30 famous companies in the USA, and I'm told almost 1/3 of them are almost dead today. Therefore, the mortality rate is very high. But to keep a company alive and to keep a company successful and also maintain very high standards in all the dimensions of manufacture for over 50 years is indeed testimony and a tribute to the qualities of management of the two brothers who have succeeded an illustrious father. I'm sure that they will keep up, they will maintain these high standards of quality, consistency of manufacture, continuous process improvement, excellent customer relations, and all the other attributes which have enabled them to win this very distinguished award. With these words, I congratulate the two brothers and thank the organizers of this function for giving this opportunity to share some of my thoughts on this occasion. Thank you very much.
I now request Mr. Harish Mehta to hand over a humble memento to our chief guest. I now request Mr. Mukundan to hand over humble memento to Dr. Balaguruswamy. May I now request Mr. Viswanathan to hand over a memento to Dr. Krishna Raj. I now request Mr. Ramakrishnan to hand over mentor to Mr. M. Saravanan. As we near the close of this function, we feel that it's in the fitness of things that the young, enterprising and energetic Secretary of AMO, Mr. D. Ramakrishnan, proposes a vote of thanks. Mr. Ramakrishnan.
Good evening, all of you ladies and gentlemen. I thank the organizers for assigning the pleasant task of proposing a vote of thanks to me at the outset, and convey my hearty congratulations to Mr. Krishnan and Mr. Murali on the conferment of this prestigious award on my own behalf and on your behalf also. I must thank His Excellency, the Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri P.S. Rammohan Rao, who has very kindly and graciously presented the Visveswaraya Industrial Award today. I'd like to share a small insight. I was fortunate enough and had the pleasure and privilege of calling on him as soon as he took over as the governor, along with a small delegation of small industry people. The first thing he said was, please do not invite me for any inaugurations or valedictory functions or seminars or things like that. I would like to contribute, or I'd like to play a proactive role. And from that time, true to his style and true to his want, he has come here and recognized excellence. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for sparing your valuable time to be amongst us and acknowledging excellence. I'd like to thank Dr. E. Balaguruswamy, Vice Chancellor, Anna University, for his excellent keynote address. It is a difficult subject, but he made light of the whole thing. And it was very educative and illuminative. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind presence and giving your keynote address. I should thank Sri M. Saravanan of the famous AVM Productions for being with us and offering his felicitations and sharing his thoughts and insights about not only the business but also about the family as a whole. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Krishna Vanavarayan, I think I don't have much to say because he has been commented upon by no less than a person than His Excellency himself. He shared a lot of rare insights into the working of the late Sri Mahadeva Iyer, the founder of SKS Sweets. And his was, I should say, a vintage exposition about the family, the business and whatnot. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us and felicitating Sri Krishna Sweets. I think I should also thank the distinguished invitees, Mr. Ramanathan CGM Sidbi, Mr. Gandhi Senior Advocate, His Lordship Justice K.S. Bhaktavachalam, and the other distinguished invitees who have found time to be amongst this very nice and a very deserving evening in showing your solidarity along with us in recognizing excellence. I should thank our illustrious predecessors in office, Mr. Ravi, Madam Prasad, Mr. Prakasam, and all the other present office bearers of AMO and the staff of AMO TNSP and the members of All India Manufacturers Organization who have found time to come from all over India to be amongst us, and all of you distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, and last but not the least, the members of the press, the electronic media, Doordarshan, and all the private TV channels, and all of you. I convey our thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramakrishnan. National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गागे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
And all in India and abroad. Even before the phrase corporate social responsibility gained significance, it was textured into the group's value systems. And today, this phrase has been redefined by Mr. Murali as citizen social responsibility. Chennai 365, an effort by SKS in association with social, sports, and cultural bodies to do good to a vibrant Chennai. To Sri Krishna Sweets, it's no mere rule. It's not just an act. It's every citizen's social responsibility. After all, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And in the process, create a world where life's best bonds are built with love and care. And in time, they will become our strongest bond.